What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim, back with another video. Down here by the lake, just enjoying some nice fall weather, enjoying the scenery. Got a little breeze going, the sun's still out. This is what October should feel like. Anyway, I wanted to turn the camera on real quick, talk for a little bit. I wanted to do a walk and talk, but there's way too many people out, okay? Way too many people out enjoying this beautiful day. So we're just gonna stand here. We're kind of off in a little cut in the woods over here. But we're just gonna stand here, talk for a little bit. Actually, I feel like the lighting is better right there. I don't know, but I wanted y'all to see the mountains back there. Anyway, what I want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we don't need to feel guilty for not working. I'm gonna say that slow. I'm gonna say it one more time. We don't need to feel guilty for not working. Okay, I actually had a comment from someone recently, and one of the things they were saying was that even though they've kind of quit the 9 to 5 grind, sometimes they feel a little guilty not working. Had a comment from someone else who also said that like they're gonna stop working, but I think they had stopped working. But one of the issues they were having was like nothing else brings them like fun anymore. Like they've spent their whole life working so much that like they don't know what to do outside of working. Like work has become their whole life. And I think a lot of people kind of sharing this sentiment, it's like, well, maybe I have the opportunity not to work, or, but it just feels weird, doesn't feel right. Or when I think about not working, I don't know what else to do with my life. So I just kind of wanted to weigh in on this topic. And I remember back, I think it was in 2019, somewhere around 2019, was the first time that I started making enough money consistently on YouTube that I realized like, hey, wait, like I don't have to work all day, every day. You know what I mean? I think I was renting a room at the time, and my bills, like my rent was like 500 bucks and my cell phone bill was like somewhere around 100 bucks. So my total bills, cause I didn't have a car at the time, nothing like that. My total bills was like $600 for the whole month. Okay. 600 bucks for the whole month. And I think I was consistently back then making like $1,200 a month off YouTube. So I was like, wait a second, I'm bringing in $1,200 or more every month. My bills are 600. That would leave me just what I'm making off YouTube, $600 to eat. And I was like, wait a second, I don't have to work. Soon after that, I got mad and quit my job. Okay. I stayed for a little bit. Soon after I got back with my job, right? But I remember distinctly, like the first week, I wasn't working. I was living in Bozeman at the time. I remember walking downtown, like Tuesday morning, and there were like everybody else for the most part was like getting up. It was early, so like people were just starting to get to work. Beginning of the workday, I think it was around like 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And you just saw the hustle and bustle of the activity of people starting to work and working. And I felt so guilty that I wasn't working. I'm like, why are you on like a Tuesday morning, Tim, like just walking around? Like I was walking to the library. I'd got a coffee. I was walking downtown, going to the library. I was gonna hang out for a little bit, probably do a video, and then walk back, have lunch, And I'm like, I just felt so guilty. I'm like, this isn't fair. Like everybody else has to work and you're just lollygagging. And it was kind of a weird moment because I never expected that to happen. But then I had to talk myself through it. And I'm like, Tim, it's actually the work you've done for many, many, many years up until now on your YouTube channel that has afforded you this opportunity to not have to do the 9 to 5 grind each and every day if you don't want to. And it took a little bit, but it took a few weeks, but I finally realized like, oh, all right, it's not like I'm doing something wrong. It's just that like I found this opportunity. And so I understand when people, say they feel guilty or say it feels weird, because our whole lives we've been taught to like get good grades in school, in college, you can get a good job, so you can make good money, take care of your family. There's never a scenario where people really tell us that like, other than retirement, where people tell us that the day may come when you don't have to work. That's not a scenario. No one ever talks about working less or not having to work. It's always like, do this so you can get a good job and then work at a good job and make good money until 65, 67, whatever. So we just don't know how to feel when we find ourselves in a situation where like we don't have to work. And I think it's because of this that a lot of people genuinely believe they could never find a situation where either they're working for themselves, or their side hustle turns into their main hustle, or they might be able to, over the course of a few amount of years, instead of 40 years, they might be able to retire after 15. Like, our minds really can't grasp these concepts, and so that's why we don't make the decisions when we're young, especially, or any time in our life, to kind of go after that life. It feels weird. It doesn't feel right. It feels like a pipe dream. It feels like something that people just try to tell you because they're trying to sell you some type of course. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel real. But as someone who's had that opportunity, I'm here to say, like, it is real. You can find a way to not work the 9 to 5 grind every single day. It might take some years. Like, I had been on YouTube since 2011, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until like 2019 that it got me to even like that money level, you know what I mean? So like, sometimes it takes a while, and it's not always easy. And sometimes we have to work our regular job and do our side hustling after work. It might take a lot of extra work up front, but like, the day could come when like, yeah, you don't have to work, okay? The day could come when you have the opportunity to take some time off. Like, for me, I took a few months off, then I went back to work. I was revitalized, reinvigorated, okay? And they called and offered me a better position. that was actually a lot less physical work and a little bit more money, and working with people I really liked. So, but like, it just, after I came to terms with the fact that like, this is okay, and I realized that like, oh, another thing I realized too was like, Tim, like, life is the top level, right? Work is under life, okay? Living, doing what we love to do is the height of like our life, right? Not work. But we get it the other way around. We're so used to prioritizing work over everything. Whoa, work over everything. It spells out whoa. It lets you know it's bad. We're so used to work over everything. We're so used to whoa that like, when anything else takes precedent over work, it kind of gets weird for us, And that just lets us know that like, it's brainwashing, bro. It's brainwashing. Left to our own devices, we would always be like, if I don't have to work, I don't want to, and I'm cool with that. But it's the brainwashing, it's the programming, it's the constantly being told from, day one that we have to work. I literally got into like, several people. I've gotten into discussions with people who have said, this is just the way it is. They're like, oh, we're not programmed, we're not brainwashed. This is just the way it is, Tim. You got to be realistic. And I always tell these people, like, you're proving my point. The fact that like, you got so triggered and such emotions came up when some random guy on the internet just made a video and said, you should strive not to work a job you hate. The fact that that triggered you so much shows you that like, there's some programming going on, right? You would think that anytime someone says, hey, if you don't have to work, don't work, or find a way not to do work you hate, that all of us would be like, preach, synagogue, tabernacle, talk, right? Church. No, some form of agreement, whatever you say, you know what I mean? But no, some people agree with it, but a large majority of people, they get triggered by that. It's because it goes totally against everything they've been taught. For so many people, work is the foundation of their life. For so many people, the bedrock of their life is work. So when you talk about taking work away, they get real scared because like, they don't know what else there is. And I understand that. That's why I'm always saying we need to prioritize, we need to normalize sabbaticals, gap years, taking time off, a year maternity leave, all that type of stuff, so we can get comfortable not working. That way we can start making, and we might realize we really like it. So we can start making decisions that might lead to us retiring early, or lead to us doing things that allow us to find ways to make money that don't require us clocking in on someone else's clock. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm currently working now. I like the people I work with. I like what I do. I love the area, which my job is located in. I'm gonna let y'all get them mountains one more time. Oh, look at that. So I don't mind. But I think a lot of that has to be learned, sadly. We have to be taught, and we have to learn that it is possible to find a job we love. It is possible to work in a location we love. It is possible to work part-time and still be okay. Okay? It is possible to start a side hustle, and 7.5 years from now, we're making more money than we're making at our job. Or it's possible to start a side hustle, and that combined with lowering our bills, lowering our expenses, might allow us to just do that for 3-4 months out the year and not work. But as it is now, we feel guilty. You know, we don't know what to do. You know, the reason more people die the year after they retire than like any other year is because all they know is work. You know, a lot of people, it was raise the family, you know, work to take care of the family, then you're working for retirement. When they get to retirement and like the job gives them the gold watch, well, these days, not even the gold watch, the job gives them a goodbye pizza party, they don't know what to do. You just at the house. Like my whole life I've been working towards something. Now that I can finally reap the benefits, I just really need something else to work for. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It is crazy, and I don't want y'all to be like that. I want y'all, to experience time off of work. You know, I want y'all to experience leaving the job early if that's what you want to do. I want y'all to know that life is about your passions and your joys, and it's about spending time with loved ones, all this other stuff. Work is like number 5 on the list. Work is like number 5 on the list. And I know for most of us, work starts out as number 1, but we can make it get further down the list, okay? It doesn't have to stay number 1 at the list. People are always like, yeah, Tim, but in order to do all that other stuff, I have to work. For now, yes, because you made decisions in your life to make it that way. But you can start making decisions now so that that doesn't have to be the case. You can get to a place where you're not working as much, or you're working doing something you love, or you're not working at all. It's possible. It is possible. There are a million opportunities. There are a million options, a billion options. You know what I mean? This idea that there's just one way to do it and we all have to do it that way, and that we're not worthy of only working 20 hours a week, or we're not worthy of taking some time off, is crazy. It's just a programming, bro. I just want us all to like do what you do in life. I just want us all to identify what's programming and what's us, what's brainwashing and what's us, right? That's my goal. I want freedom. I want us to be free from a lot of these doctrines we've been taught. And the good news is every day, more and more people breaking free. The next job I do about work, I think it's going to be called, you know, work is dead. Jobs are dying. Everybody, dude, I'm seeing more and more people. I've been on this topic for years, but I'm seeing more and more people do videos just sitting in their car like, I'm done. And these videos are blowing up. Everybody's chiming in like, we tired, you know what I mean? It's not worth it. Boom, boom, boom. So I think more and more people are waking up. More and more people are at the beginning stages of just like, something's wrong here. You know, maybe in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, when work was a lot better, you could stick with it. You know what I mean? When there actually were pensions, you could stick with it. But these days, especially when work ain't working for most people, yeah, man, there's no need for you to feel guilty if you're not working. If you done got your coins in a good spot where you can take some time off, do a little traveling, go see grandma, you know what I mean? Spend more time with your spouse, you and your boo thing, take a little road trip, whatever, do it. Do it. Come on. That's what we're put here. All the things we do outside of work are the things we were put here to do. Work should really just be to get money to pay the bills and survive. That's what work should be. And if we can find another way to do that, and you don't really, you know, like where you're working, say bye to it. Get rid of it. It's okay, right? Live. Enjoy yourself. I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, before I go, let's get these comments going. I need to know how y'all feel about this. Have you ever experienced that guilt of not working? Have you never not worked? Like, where are you at on the spectrum? How are you feeling? You know, do you think work is dying? Do you think jobs are dead? I need some feedback for that next video, but thank y'all for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.